Okay, hey guys, welcome to the modding tutorial for Rugby 22. What I'm going to show you guys today is what I do or how I mod the files to get all the jerseys working and inserting new players and changing their stats and stuff like that. So I have uploaded the mod that has the Springboks in it. I've already uploaded version 1 to Nexus Mods. I'm just waiting for them to approve the game because the game wasn't added to Nexus Mods yet. So I'm waiting for them to approve the game. And after that, they will approve my mod. So give it a few hours. It's out of my control, but I have uploaded it, and I'll also paste a link to that mod in the description of this video. Also, all the tools I'm going to be using, I'll give you guys the download links in the description of the video. And okay, so let's get started. So first things first, what you will need is you will need a hex editor. Okay, so what I do is the hex editor I use, let me just go to it. The hex editor I use is called HXD. So you can just type in HXD editor. Go to Google, you will see it's HXD freeware hex editor and disk editor. Click on it. There we go. And all you need to do is basically download HXD and install it to your computer, to your PC. Right. And then the second thing I use to edit video, well, not videos, the jerseys and stuff like that, all the graphics. What I use is GIMP editor as well. You can just type in GIMP editor into Google. It will give you GIMP. Go into it, download the version you want. For instance, download 2.10.30. Download GIMP and install GIMP as well. Once you've guys done that, once you have hex editor and GIMP installed, then so first thing first, we're going to open up GIMP. I'm just going to quickly show you how to edit the jerseys and stuff for those of you that haven't done it yet. What I'm going to do is I've got GIMP installed already, so I'm just going to open up GIMP. Cool. So this is GIMP. It's open. So what you want to do is you want to go to File, Open, and then wherever your Rugby 22 is installed. So mine is installed in Drive E, Games, Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, and you search for Rugby 22. Data, you go to Data, and then all the teams are under alternate textures. So you go to alternate textures, and then at the bottom it says teams. You go to teams, and then you have all the teams listed there. So I'm just going to use one for an example. Let's take South Africa. Go into the folder South Africa, and then you will see you have a few folders and a few files. So the first one is 2022_home, 2022_away, and then you have flag, generic pc.dds, etc. So the type of file we're going to be editing is a DDS file. So just for argument's sake, let's say we want to edit the home jersey. So I'm going to go into 2022 home, and then you will see you will have 3 files. It's called the bottom, socks, and tops. So basically what it is bottom is your pants in the game, socks is socks, and then top is your jersey itself. So for purposes of this video, let's go into top. Top open. It's going to give you this little box. It says, do you want to load the bitmaps? You have to tick it yes. Automatically decode the colors. You also tick it yes, and you just say okay. And there's your jersey. So you can make changes to this jersey whichever way you want to. And when you're done, all you do is you just say File, Save. Where you want to save it. We want to save it under Home, Name, Top, blah, blah, blah. Hit Save. And then it's going to give you a new box. Okay, you know what? Let me just save it as. I just want to show you guys. Oh, you know what? Let's go and say File. Sorry, you go File, Export, not Save. Export. You have to export it. Top generic. So we edited the top one. So this is top generic pc.dds. This is the one I opened. So we're going to save that one. So you have to export it. Okay, not save it, export it. Just click on the file to override it, say export. When you replace it, yes, and it's going to give you a new box, this little box. And one thing you have to do is you don't need to select anything except for bitmaps. It's going to ask you bitmaps, and you say generate bitmaps. You have to tick that box or select that on the drop-down menu. Say generate bitmaps. So export, and voila, it's in the game. So you can do that for every team. But now, if you open up the game, you will see that this jersey doesn't show with, like the South African players don't have this jersey, for instance. So we need to tell the game to look at this file to use the jersey for that specific team. Now, I'm going to use England as an example because I've already done the Springboks. As you guys can see, I'm going to use England as an example. So just to show you guys, I've already created, I'm just going to open up England. So I'm going to go back, alternate textures, my Rugby 22 folder, data, alternate textures, teams. I'm going to open up England. I started working on this jersey. I haven't completed it yet. So, but it's a good jersey to show you guys. So let's go home, top. I'm going to open up the top one. It's going to give me this box. Everything is ticked. Say, okay, here's the England jersey. I'm just going to close the South African one. So let's make a change. Let's take the brush. Let's just say white. I'm going to take out this color. Let's take this out. All right, so there's a change. We're going to save it, say file, export as. We want to export it as top generic pc.dds because it's the top file. Say export. Want to replace it? Yeah. Gives that a new box, mid maps. Select generate mid maps, export, done. Okay, so now I can close GIMP. So what do we want to do is, it's just going to say you want to save changes. I'm just going to say discard changes because we already exported it. Okay, so now we want to tell the game to use that file as the texture for England. So there's two things that you need to do. The first thing is I saw that Rugby 22. So basically what they did is it's the same code as Rugby 18 and Rugby 20, but they just added code for Rugby 22, but they left out certain parts of the code, especially for unlicensed teams. So technically, all we're going to do is we're going to look and see what they did at the Rugby, the part of the code that's Rugby 18 and Rugby 20, and we're going to duplicate that for Rugby 22. So first things first, you want to open up Hex Editor or HXD Editor, the one that I use. I suggest you guys use this one as well. It's quite awesome. And then the file you want to open, I'm going to show you, say file open. The file you want to open is in your Rugby 22 folder. So I'm going to go, it's on my E drive, games, Steam library, Steam apps, common, and we scroll down, go to Rugby 22, then data. Then we go to database, and the database we'll be editing is this one called database_prod.bin. The other two databases are leftover data or leftover databases from Rugby 18 and Rugby 20. The one is called dev, it's developers database, and the one's called beta when they ran a Rugby 20 beta. So the one we're going to be editing, you'll see the file size, it's 75 meg. It's database_prod.bin. So we're going to open this file in Hex Editor, or in my case, HXD Editor. Right. So we know now that we want to edit England. So first things first, what I'm going to do and what I always do is I search, go into search. So my keyboard is Control F, and then I type in England. Cool. There we go, England. And then I say search all down at the bottom here. And you'll see it's going to give me a hell of a lot of England entries. Cool. So we can see jerseys. So first one, it says England 2018 home. It says England 2018 away. England 2020 home, England 2020 away, England 2022 home, and England 22 away. So what we need to do is we need to tell, because we're Rugby 22, we need to tell these two, or basically edit these two entries to point to the correct files for the jerseys. Before you do that, the first thing you need to do, otherwise it won't work, is you scroll down. Sorry, let me just scroll down all the way. You'll see there's a lot of England entries. So there's an entry. So this one, so you got a few, but I normally know if it's just the word England. So here's the England as well. See, no, this is not the one I want. So the one I want is, I'm going to click on this one. It says name, and it says England, and it says final grade. So this is basically where you edit the team. Final grade is basically the team rating, but we'll get to that. First, we want to edit England for the jerseys before we get into stats and stuff. So you type in England, you search where it says name England, and then you scroll down and you'll see it says use fake assets if fake. That's true. That's fine. We leave that. City is London. So you can edit all this, but I'm going to show you how to edit it because you can't just type in something. Then your file won't work. So let's just scroll down. It says long name. Rugby Football Union is localized, true. We just scroll down, down, down. Just official name, Rugby Football Union, blah, blah, blah. The abbreviation is England. A grade modifier, we leave that. And then we come to the part that says is fake. And you will see it says true. So the first thing is you need to change this true to false. So when you're editing files in hex, you can't just go and type in false, let's say for instance over here. Then it won't work. What you need to do is, and we'll be doing that throughout this tutorial video, is when we type something into this file, we have to start where they started the entry. So in this case, the word true, we're going to change this word to false. So I'm going to start and type in F-A-L-S-E. Always start where they started, okay? Your first letter needs to be where they put the first letter. Let's say, for instance, I typed in something else. Let's say I made a mistake. Let's say I put in an extra E. Normally, you would just press backspace. But if you press backspace now, it's going to say this operation changes the file size. Do you want to proceed? We do not, and I'm going to repeat, we do not want to change the file size of this file. The moment you do that, your game will crash and the database won't work. So I'm going to say cancel. So how do we remove the mistake? Because you guys are going to make mistakes when you type. I do it as well. So how do we remove that E? We see here there's full stops everywhere. But now, if I change this E to a full stop, you will see on this side, on the code side, that full stop actually has an entry. That entry is 2E. But if you look at all the other full stops, the entry is 00. If you save it now, then that full stop will count as code. We don't want that. We want it to be exactly the same because we made a mistake. So I'm going to change this entry on the left-hand side, that 2E, I'm going to change to 00. And then it's going to enter a full, then it's going to put in a full stop, which is basically 0 code like we have over here, etc. So in order for us to change the jersey, the first thing we need to do is we search for the team, England in this case. I scroll down, I go to the entry where it says, I'm just going to double click here again, where it starts with name and you get the country's name or team's name. It says England. Second one is final grade. You scroll down all the bottom, down to the bottom, and then you'll eventually come to the line of code that says is fake, and we change that to false because we're basically telling the game this is not a fake team, this is a licensed team, because that is basically if you want to make a team unlicensed, you change that to true. But we want to keep this, we want to make this team licensed, so we're going to say it's false. It's not a fake team. Now, second thing we need to do, so that's the first thing. So the second thing we need to do, we need to go, if I scroll back up, we need to tell the code England 22 home to look for the specific DDS file that we just edited in GIMP. Okay. So I'm going to go into it. I'm going to show you guys. So here's the entry. It says name, England 22 home, type, it goes down, number offset, number color, all that stuff, etc. Number scale. I'm going to show you guys how to do that as well. And if you just scroll down, 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 going to give you all the number stuff as well. But now you will see, okay, hold on, but there's no jersey entries here or anything because here's exit the Chiefs. This is not where you change the jerseys. Where you change the jerseys is actually over here. I'm going to show you. If I go down to the bottom, just want to make sure it's the right one. I think it's this one. It says teams England 518/team. If you go into it and you scroll down, you will get flags, and you will see there's coding for flags, etc. I just want to make sure it's this one, actually, because there's a few of them. The one that says small. It's not that one. Let me check. It's not the logo one. TGA one. No, it's not that one. And this is basically what you need to do. You need to go through the code and look for... here we go. It says teams/England 518/2022. I'm going to go into that and you will see. Here we go. Here's the code. So it says teams England 518/2022 away/socks. And if you scroll down, it's going to say again teams England 518/2022 away socks. So this is the away code for the away jersey, but we don't want the away. We want to put in the home jersey. So I'm just going to click on this one. I'm going to search. Let's go and search for home. Let's exit the Chiefs. Let's scroll up a bit. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the code. Here we go. Here's the start of the code. Okay, so it says teams England 518-2022 because 2022 underscore home top. That is the file that we edited, so we want to put in the jersey. So you'll get a section that says teams home top, and then you'll get another section that says teams home top. Okay, this second section is where you put in the code to show the file or to show the database where that file is. But what we need to do is we can't just type it in anywhere. We need to see where they typed it into another team, a team that's already been done by them. We need to duplicate it. So what I normally do is, okay, I scroll up and I see here, okay, hold on. Here's Edinburgh. Edinburgh's got code in. So I'm going to scroll up. Let's take Edinburgh as an example. So I'm going to scroll up all the way. Let's go to the home section of Edinburgh. Here we go. So it says teams Edinburgh 533-2022 underscore home.top. That's the first section. Second section, it's duplicated. And here you see it says top.bmp for bitmap. Okay, so we need to enter this into that 22 section of England, but we can't copy and paste because the moment you copy code and you paste code, it's gonna change the file size of your database, and your database is gonna crash. So we need to go and enter this manually. So what I do is I go and I say, okay, cool. This line says top, so I'm going to start counting. I'm going to count from line 1 that has no code in it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then on the 14th line we need to enter top .bmp. So on the 14th line we need to enter top.bmp. So I'm going to scroll down all the way back to England home top. That's the first section. Here's a second section that says England's teams England top. So now we counted 14, and on the 14th line we need to enter top .bmp. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. What do we need to enter? We need to enter top.bmp. Now your database will be linked to that file. So this that says England underscore 518 is the folder. It tells the database, listen, you need to go and look into team England 518, and you need to look into the folder 22 home. And in the folder 22 home, you will find, they call it top.bmp, but the file extension that the unencoded file extension that we see is DDS. But you just type in top.bmp, and you do that for each section here. So the next one is bottom. Okay, you see we'll start bottom. There's the first part of bottom. The first part you always leave blank, the first section. Okay, and then the second section you'll see again, it actually looks the same. It says teams England 518-2022 home bottom, and it's got no code in it. So let's go check Edinburgh where they entered that code. Here we go, Edinburgh home bottom. So this is the first section. It's got no code in it. Second section has got code in it. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. And there you see bottom.bmp. So I'm going to count. First open line of code, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. On the 12th line, let's just recount that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, hold on. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 again. So on the 14th line, I think my keyboard just skipped some lines. So on the 14th line, we need to type in bottom.bmp. So let's go do that. Go scroll all the way down to England again. So here we go, England top. And you will see all the code that you entered now will always be in red. Okay, so this is the top one that we entered, but we're working on bottom now. So it says teams England 518-2022 home bottom. And here's a second section that says teams England 518-2022 home bottom. So let's count down 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it was bottom.bmp. Remember, you have to start where they started. If you start any other place, then your code won't work. So we can see if we go to home, scroll up quickly. So on the first line, it says BOTT, and then on the second line, it says OM.BMP. We have to literally duplicate that. Otherwise, it will not work. So if I scroll down to where I typed in, here we go. It must be BOTT on the one line, OM.BMP on the second line. So now the game knows, okay, cool, I need to go look into the folders that says England 518, 2022 home, and the bottom file. So file for the pants. And for socks, we do exactly the same thing. Teams, England, socks. This is the first section. We don't need to enter code. Here's the second section. So we need to enter code here. So let's go check what they did with the entry for Edinburgh. Here we go, Edinburgh home socks. This is the first section. No code, so we leave that. Here's the second section. Second section says Teams, Edinburgh 533 2022 home socks. Okay, and here's the entry. So we're going to count. First line open code. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14th line as well. And they typed in the word sock, and then on the next line it's .bmp. So we're going to duplicate that. If I scroll all the way down to England again. Here we go. Here's the sock section. The first line or the first part of socks that's not entered, and then the second part. So we're going to count. First line open without code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we need to type in sock .bmp. Sorry, I just want to get my keyboard. Okay, so I accidentally put in a 0 there. Like I explained earlier, to take out that 0, you go to the code on the left-hand side and you enter 00. It'll automatically put in just a dot for you. Okay, so we entered socks, we entered bottoms, and we entered top. That is all you need to do for the jersey to show up. So I'm just going to file, save. So if you open up the game now, then you will have the correct jersey for England. And you can do this for all the teams that's unlicensed, for Leinster or for Munster, or I can't remember all the teams. For instance, I know Argentina. Argentina is not licensed. Same thing. Let me show you guys. Let's just go to the top of the file again. Let's go search. We type in Argentina. Cool. Say search all. It will give you exactly the same. Argentina. You go down. The one we want is, here we go. Teams Argentina 2022. This is the away section. So if you want to, so just to tell you guys as well. So what we did now with England is we only entered that code in the home section. So if you want to create away jerseys, you need to go and duplicate that and put that same code into the away section as well. All right, just to make it clear. But yeah, so here's Argentina, just to show you guys again, exactly the same thing. Let's just scroll up to home, Argentina. Still with bottoms, here we go. Argentina 2022 home top. Teams Argentina 564 2022 home top. And then you enter the code in here. And then it will link to the jersey. Where is this folder? Like I said, if I open up File Explorer, I'm going to go to my Rugby 22 folder. I'm going to show you guys. Hold on. Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, go Rugby 22. Data, alternate textures, teams, and then you will find the folder that says Argentina 564. So basically this code here on top is exactly the same. It just basically points the game to this folder. But now you have to point it to a graphic as well. That's why we say Teams Argentina 564 2022 underscore home. That's basically this folder. And now we need to show it to a DDS file, and then you place your DDS file in that folder, and then it will work. All right, so that is jerseys. Now, the moment you change, like I did, I'm going to show you guys again. The moment you tell the game that a team is not fake. Let's take Argentina as an example. Remember, we said Argentina, then it's name, Argentina. We have to go change the code that says, okay, long name. We scroll down until we get to the code that says is fake. So we scroll down. The moment we change this code that says is fake from true to false, we tell the game that Argentina isn't a fake team. The moment we do that, you will see that all the players for Argentina or for England, the moment you change that code, all the players will show a weird name. It will show a fake name in the game. And I'm going to open up the game quickly. I want to show you guys what it does exactly. Let me just open up Rugby 22 here. So it's critical that you guys understand this part when you're editing it. Sorry, I'm just waiting for the game to open up. So yeah, and if I'm going a bit fast, guys, this is quite it takes a while to explain all this stuff. So and it's going to take me 4 hours if I had to go into detail. So I'm going to run through it quite quickly. So I suggest you guys just rewatch the video if you don't understand, or you guys can ask me questions on the rugbyforum.com. Okay, so I'm just going to go into quick match quickly. I'm going to go select England. Remember, I'm going to keep with England because we edited England. Okay, so you will see it will show the correct jersey now. For instance, I haven't edited the England away jersey, and it will show a referee jersey. So once you enter that code and you point it to the DDS files and you create the DDS files, then this jersey will be the correct jersey for away. But as you guys can see, it will show a referee jersey because we didn't put in the code. Okay, but we did put in the code for home, and I did edit the DDS file. So that's basically the jersey we have. Now, just to show you guys, if we go into England and we go to team management, you will see the names for all the players will show England fake name 1, England fake name 2, England fake name 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it goes down all the bottom. Okay, so it's England fake names. So for us to enter real players for England, we need to go and change the words England fake name 01 to the correct players' names. So let's take, for instance, let's take, who can we take? Who's a well-known guy? Somebody that everybody will know. I don't know. Maybe we should take George Ford. Yeah. Let's take George Ford. Okay. So for instance, we know George Ford plays fly half. So what I'm going to edit in the database is England fake name 10 because it's a fly half and there's the stats, etc. So we're going to change England fake name 10 to George Ford. So I'm just going to go out of the game again. Cool. We're out of the game. I'm going to go back to my HXD editor. Okay. The database editor. So we know we need to search for England fake name 10. So I'm just going to go search again. England. Spelling England. And I'm going to say search all. Cool. Here we go. Here's all the entries with England. So I'm going to scroll down. Let's check this one. Okay, so the first one is England fake name first name 17. Nope, we don't want that one. 17. We're looking for 10 because I just want to put George Ford into the fly off position. So I'm just going to go through all of them until we get England fake name _ 10. Fake name 1, fake name 3, fake name 3, fake name 6. Here we go. England fake first name 10. So this is basically the entry that we're going to change to the real player's name. Okay. Now you will see that, okay, so first things first. Like I said earlier, when you enter code, you always have to start where they started. Now you will see it asks me for what is the guy's first name. So it's going to be George for George Ford. So I'm going to type in Georg. The rest of the code I need to take out. How do we take out code? We go and change on the left-hand side. We go and put in 00 for each entry. So it's 00, 00, 00, 00, and you will see on the right-hand side it just changes it to dots. So let's do that until we're done, until all the code is out that we don't want. So there we go. We have the word George in. So the first name is already changed to George. If we scroll down, you will see there's another section that says name. That's basically surname. So where it says first name, that is the first name. If we scroll down, it's going to show, I'm going to show you guys this as well. It's going to go down name. We're going to type in Ford. So always start where they started. Ford. I want the rest of the characters gone because his surname is only Ford. So on the left hand side, I'm going to enter 00000000000000 until all the text is gone. There we go. So now that player's name is changed to George Ford. Save, just to go show you guys. I'm going to open up Rugby 2022 again. There we go. We're in the game. Let's select England quickly to check out. England. Go to team management. And you guys will see number 10, fake name 10, changed to G Ford for George Ford. Right, so that worked. So you can do that for each and every player in a team that you want to change. So step one is you go to the team, you edit the team, and you say, is it a fake team? You make that false. It will by default be true. You make it false. And then afterwards, all the names for all the players will change to the country's name underscore fake name, and basically the position where they play in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In this instance, we changed number 10, England underscore fake name underscore 10. We changed that to G Ford. So there we go. It's George Ford. Now, and here comes the fun part. So now, in Hex Editor, we changed the name to G Ford. Now, if I go back to his first name, which was, let me just go back to his first name, which we entered was George, you will see all the stats, all the stats for the player is here. It always starts with final grade. Final grade means what is his overall rating. So the fake player was 0.86, so 86 final rating. Let's change George Ford's rating to 90 as an example. So I'm going to type in 90. Leave the 0 dot in. We just type in 90. Okay, so that is his final grade. So if you go down, you will get all the code and all the ratings. Goal success, his success rate with goals. How good is he at goal kicking? So let's say 87. Handling shows 00. Where it shows 00, where they haven't entered a number, you also don't enter a number. Okay, because this code is not relevant anymore. So handling, we leave it out. Height, they say he's 184 centimeters. Let's quickly Google and see what is George Ford's real height. So George Ford. Yeah, George Ford. George Ford, his real height is 175. So I'm going to type in 175. Cool. Impact, that's 00. So we leave it. We don't change it. Influence, they have a 0.9. You guys can change it to 0.7, for instance. He's generating a card in game. There's no code in here. So this is basically the cards at my team. You can create, or you can edit players so that they show up in the my team section of the game where you can unlock them as a card. But for this purpose, we're just going to leave this open. No code in here. Is the referee? No, George Ford is not a referee, so we leave that open. Jackal, the stats for his stats for Jackal. So he's good at stealing the ball on the ground. No, it's George Ford, so I'm going to change that 63 to 53. Kicking power, 00. We leave that. We don't change it. Kicking technique, 00. I haven't experimented with these code at all, but for now, I just leave it at 00. Line out score, 0.32. That sounds good. Line out steal. I don't think George Ford is good at line out, so I'm going to change that 8 to a 3. Line out. Take, George Ford. No, you can't do line out, so I'm going to change that to a 4. Line tackle, his tackling is all right. Mark, his catching is good. Miss tackle. So you can go and change all the stats. You see, there's the place where we entered the surname, Ford. Other tackles. So this is basically where you change all the stats. Remember, do not copy and paste code because you will change the file size and then your database won't work. Everything you have to add manually. You have to manually type it in. Position. So position, how it works is if you are a prop, or let's say if you play number 1, then your position will always be 0. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So George Ford is actually number 10, but his position will show you as number 9. Okay, because we start counting from 0. Okay, so his rugby pass ID, all that stuff. So you guys can edit it here. His speed, for instance, stamina, they left it open. Tackle turnover, tackling, territorial kicking meters, how far he kicks the ball, etc. So you can change all those stats. But now here comes the interesting part. So we typed in George Ford. If you go to your Rugby 22 folder, and I'm going to show you guys where you change the faces and stuff of players. So let's go minus my E drive, games, Steam library, Steam apps, common, Rugby 22, data. If we go into the customization folder, there's a folder that says customization. And if you go into players, you will see there's a hell of a lot of players' names here. Okay. Now we just created George Ford. I'm going to go and check if they haven't created George Ford in Rugby 20 and Rugby 18. If they have, then we're going to be saving us a hell of a lot of time. So I'm going to type in Ford. Let's go search for George Ford. Okay, so here we have George Ford. They have already created George Ford in previous games, but they left the files in here. So one thing that I realized is if you type in the name of the player in the database, so in this instance, it's actually quite simple because it's George Ford. If that name is exactly spelled like your name, and if your name and surname in your database is spelled exactly the same as the name and surname that it shows in these folders, for instance, George Ford, then the game will automatically look into this folder for the data, like how the player looks, what's his hair color, skin color, etc. Okay, so for instance, George Ford has a folder already, so the game will automatically pick up and take his appearance from Rugby 20 or Rugby 18, whatever they decided to make. It will already take the appearance from this folder. If you want to add the appearance, for instance, George Ford, we want to add his appearance. The file you're going to be using is customsave.xmb. How do you edit customsave.xmb? So basically what you do is I open it up with, I'm going to show you guys now. There's a program that I use. It's kind of like WinRAR, but it's not WinRAR. I think it's called 7Z Extractor or 7-Zip. You download 7-Zip and you install it, okay? So basically what you then do is you open up this customsave.xmb with 7-Zip, and you will see it's actually an archive file. And inside there's another file called custom save. All you do is you extract that file. There we go. There's the custom file. And you edit this file, or you open it up with Notepad. And here you will have all the appearance characteristics for George Ford. So for instance, it says, here we go, race equals middle body. So that's his body size. So you will see you get fat body, middle body, small body, etc. Head, what type of head should you use? What type of tattoo should you use? The color of his hair. There's the RGB code for his hair. So you can change all this. Okay, but they've already created, but you can go and you can edit this number. So for instance, red is 165. We can change that to 2 as an example. And we say file, save, exit, and all you do is you just drag this again into your 7-zip file. It's going to ask, do you want to override it? You say yes. Close it. There you go. So that custom save has been edited for George Ford. And you can basically do that for every player. So if you're lucky, like with George Ford, they would have created a George Ford folder with his special characteristics in it already. But let's say you want to create a player that doesn't have a folder like this. It's very simple. Let's say you want to create a folder. Let's say the guy's name is Samuel Jackson. Okay, so we're going to create a new folder. First, surname is Jackson _ Samuel. Samuel. Jeez, my spelling is Samuel. Cool. So let's say we want Jackson Samuel to play for England. So I'm just going to use George Ford as an example. Go back to first name. I'm going to change that to Samuel. And note the spelling of Samuel needs to match the Samuel of the folder that you just created. Okay, if it's different, it's not going to note. It's not going to note to use this folder. It's same for the first name. It works exactly the same for the first name and the surname. So Samuel, and then we want to change the surname. So basically, all I did is where I just entered Samuel. If we just scroll down, it will show eventually the word name. It's not too far down. Here we go, name. And I'm going to change this George to Jackson. So Jackson. I'm just going to check the spelling because, like I said, Jackson and Samuel needs to match Jackson and Samuel. Cool. So all you do is you'll see if you open up the folder, there's nobody there. What I normally do is I go and I copy a file from another player, put it into Samuel Jackson's folder, and then I edit this file to make it unique for Samuel Jackson. So the game will say, okay, the guy's name is Samuel Jackson. Is going to look into the folder. It's going to look in the folder that's called Samuel Jackson, and it's going to use this file for the appearance. And you can go and edit that file to change the appearance. I basically did this now for South Africa. As you guys can see, I created folders for who was the one guy? Let's say Malcolm Marks. So I created a folder called Marks_Malcolm. I'm just going to scroll down, get it quickly. There you go, Marks Malcolm. If I open it up, you will see it has the custom save, everything. So that's where I edit the file to change the appearance, etc. So it is literally as simple as that. And you guys will see there's a hell of a lot of players that's already been created here. So chances are, if you enter real players, the chances are they would have created an appearance for that player in the past, and you can basically just point it to that directory, or you can change it to your heart's content. So let's take another player. For instance, here's James O'Connor. Okay, so if James O'Connor is not in the game, you can go and add him to the Australian team. Just make sure you type in James O'Connor or James Connor exactly the way they did. James O'Connor. Cool. Yeah, guys, that's basically it. The last thing that I would just want to show you guys is when you create new jerseys, you will see that they left out the code for the numbers on the jersey. Okay, so it's the same with the jersey where we have to go and enter that code again. It works exactly the same way here. So let's just take Argentina quickly, just to show you guys. Argentina, search all. Cool. So if I scroll up, sorry, I just want to search all the Argentinas quickly, not just half of them. Search all. There we go. So if I go to Argentina 2022 home, and I scroll down, you will see it says type. This is jersey type. Type is 10. Color number or number color. There's no code in it. Number offset 00. Number Y offset. So that's number X offset. Number Y offset is 00. Seat color 00. Number scale 00. So basically what they did is they took out all the code. If you want to get numbers working on your jersey, all you need to do is go and look at what they did previously and you just duplicate that. So I'm going to take Argentina 2022 home. Click on it. Here's the code. So let's scroll down. Number color. Oh, here we go. Here's a color for the number. So it's the same thing. I just go and count where they started to enter the code. I'm just going to copy this quickly to another folder so it's easy, so I can remember it easily. So let's just go and create a new notepad. Come on, notepad. I'm just going to paste the number in notepad so I don't forget it. There's the number. Okay. So we're going to count first line of open code. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's just recount that. I'm just going to count up. So they started on 16. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. So first line of open code. On the 16th line, from that, I need to enter that code. Do not copy and paste, like I said. It's not going to work. So I'm just going to go to Argentina 2022 home. Same thing. Number color. We know it's 16 down. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. What do we need to enter? What did I paste in Notepad? So it's hash FFF. So let's do that. Hash FFF EFEFF. EFEFF. And that's all you do. Second part, number X offset. Our code here says 00. Let's go check what they did. Previous years, Argentina 2022 home. Scroll down. Number X offset 0.15. Let's just copy this whole number. I'm going to say that is X offset, just to remember. Cool. Let's go check Argentina 2022 home. What are we editing now? Number X offset. They have it as 00. We want to change that. So we're going to change that to 15 and then 4. So it's 154, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Number X offset. And you do that for each team and each number or each code that you get. I'm just going to finish this one. So we just did number X offset. Here we go, number scale. That was the scale of the number. I'm just going to paste it here for easy reference. Scale equals that. So go back to Argentina 2022 home. Scroll down. Where's scale? Number scale. 211,000. 211,000. Cool. Go back to 2022 home, Argentina. Let's see what they did there. Okay, we already did number X offset. We just did number scale. We haven't done number Y offset yet. I'm going to copy that. So it's Y offset now. So for reference, let's type in Y offset. There we go. Go to 22 home again. Scroll down. Let's look for, that's number X offset. We need number Y offset. It's 00 there. We want to edit it. It's 451,000. So it's 451,000. Cool. That is done. Seat color. Let's go check what was the seat color if they had it in. Number scale. Seat color was this one. Okay. Seat color. Let's say seat color. Okay, but let's count. So how many lines do we need to count? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's 16 lines again. And then we type in the code. So let's go 2022 home. We're editing seat color now. There we go. There's no code. So it's 16 lines. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on. Sorry, my keyboard is jumping. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. Okay, what do we need to type in? Hash FF7. Let's start hash FF7 for ACDF. For ACDF. There we go. There's a number scale. So that's basically how you add numbers to the jerseys. If you don't do this, there will be no numbers on the back of the jerseys. Okay. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I rushed through this tutorial a little bit because, yeah, there's quite a lot to talk about. But like I said, I will be available on the Rugby forums if you guys want to know something. But most important is don't copy and paste in this database because then you'll corrupt the database. You have to enter everything manually. And if you make a mistake, let's say, for instance, you accidentally type in that and you want to take this out, you need to change the code on the left-hand side. So you go and you enter 000 just to take out the code everywhere. And always start where they started. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. If I come across new stuff, then I'll show you guys. But yeah, for now, I think that's enough to get everybody started and everybody going, etc. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Cheerio. Bye.